Hello, hi. This is Fred in France from metalabs.com. I MÖRK GRYNING. I Peter, or maybe I used to use. I need to use your nickname, but I introduce. Let's introduce yourself.
Yeah, yeah, sure. It's of course it's no secret anymore. The most of the people already know the pseudonyms cannot be secret for very long. As well as you have this there's something called internet nowadays, and
Yeah,
you can basically search for anything. So, well, to keep up some mystique behind things. That's why we still use our pseudonym. So my pseudonym is then Draakh Kimera from MÖRK GRYNING, and I'm playing the guitar and doing the lead vocals.
lead vocals. Yeah, because there are several singers, several vocals in general in MÖRK GRYNING.
Usually we have like a tradition that at least
Yeah,
on one song on every album, Goth Gorgon is doing the lead vocals, but then I'm doing the rest of it.
and some backing vocals maybe for from other members. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We have our keyboard player and guitar player that is doing some backing vocals as well, for sure.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
on live and also on the albums.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And just to recall the thing, more grinding also play lives. Like you released the live album at Kraken
Yes.
2016 or something like that, EP, an EP.
Yep.
But if I'm right, and I'm hungry, you you never played live in France in my country, or very rarely. I am right or not? I'm wrong.
You're totally
France.
right. We have never played in France
And
yet.
why? And why don't you?
That's a that's a good question. The nearest we have succeeded to France is Belgium, but
Eh?
I really don't know why we haven't visited France yet. For sure,
As
we are trying to do that.
as support band or headliner with other Swedish band, or
Mm.
I don't know what which band we want, but I have nice offer. And in festivals, never, not never.
No, nothing yet, but we sure hope that that will change for
Yeah,
this new album release, that we can
yeah,
get some cool gigs, which would include France.
yeah. Okay, I hope so. I hope so. To see you live. Alors, so we are going to just come back, but not to speak always. I know it's boring, but it has an importance about the previous album. What can you assess when you look back about this previous album? It called Hinsides Vrede. Excuse me for the bad Swedish accent,
Yeah, that's
because
good.
it was released in I just can't say tack in Swedish, but okay. But it was a nice record, very nice record for a new coming back. But
Yeah.
sadly, the pandemic in 2020-21.
Yes.
So the plans were not as so the plans you expected. It was not the good timing. But
No.
what can you assess about this album? The good, the bad, the critics.
Yeah, I mean, we sure had a good comeback album. We felt that we really have nailed it when we did that album. So it was released, as you said, just before the pandemic,
Yeah,
and at the time of the release, it got very hyped, and we got a lot of good responses, and we got a lot of bookers and promoters that responded to us and they wanted to book. Yeah, we had a lot of things going on. They wanted to book us for many gigs and festivals and such. So we really thought that this was the big door opener for us. But
not for
then
friends.
this pandemic came, of course, and everything just changed overnight, basically. And yeah, the timing was very bad in that way. But we sure wanted to take a revenge on this new album now,
Okay,
and hopefully we can. Yeah.
no, excuse me. Quickly after this album, you quickly return in studio and to rewrite and compose, maybe not to spend your time to wait for live show which was
Yeah.
cancelled or postponed, and you think about the new album maybe quickly.
The thing is that we had an US tour going on that planned before the pandemic, and that one was a tour that we postponed for like 2 years because of the pandemic, and we
Okay,
worked on getting that on our hands first. So finally, we got to go there anyway, so we could do the tour. I think it was in 2022, I think,
okay,
that we managed to do it finally. So we didn't really have any plans for the next album at that point of time.
okay,
So we wanted to do this tour first, and then
okay,
when we came home, then maybe start to
okay,
write on something new if we had the motivation to do it.
yeah, yeah, inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Alors, so Hinsides Vrede, we like it very much, this album. Alors, if I'm right in Swedish, it seems, it means rage beyond the world, something like that.
Yeah, the
I'm right?
rap from the other side.
Yeah, from the other side. And so this new album called, if I'm right, Fasornas Tid. If
Yes.
I'm right, if I can translate in English, that's in French, but in English, it means the hours, the time of horrors, something like that.
That is correct.
Is it in the lyrical continuation directly from Hinsides Vrede album in this same concept or idea?
Yes, more or less. Lyrically, it is more or less like Hinsides Vrede. We didn't change that much on the theme, so to say. But as far as for the title, we
Yeah.
think that these really are the time of horrors currently that we have, what we see, what's happening in the world currently. So we think that that was a very suitable title to have.
Yeah, you use a metaphor to speak about anti-Christianity or Satanism or evil or more spiritually in general in your lyrics since the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Maybe if we are not that much of a traditional black metal band that
yeah,
always uses this kind of Satanism in all our lyrics, but for sure we touch it sometimes. But mostly we write of anything basically. That is more. I think it's more motivating to just feel free writing of anything that we get the inspirations from.
okay. So this new album is called Fasornas Tid. It's your seventh studio album, if I'm right. Seventh
Yes.
studio album. Alors, at home, do you have your home studio? Because I know that the new stuff was recorded in Stockholm at the Wing Studio. Is it with the Sverker Widergren? But
Yeah.
is it your home studio or not in Stockholm? You have your home studio. How do you record? And before, how do you prepare your album? Do you rehearse? Do you with Gun Gorgon you work
Yeah,
together?
no, we were mostly doing the pre-productions at our home studios. You know,
Okay,
we have our,
okay,
yeah, you have your computer basically with the home studio, and there
okay.
we put up we do the pre-preparations, the pre-arrangements there. But actually for this new album, when we had a complete band, we
Yeah.
actually took the first songs when we actually rehearsed the songs. And in that way, we could also rearrange some stuff on the songs before we went to the studio to actually record the album. And
Okay.
the studio with the Sverker Widgren, that is not our studio. That's
Okay.
his studio at the Wing Studios. But we all know Sverker for a long time now. He's like a sixth member, more or less. We used to say, and he's so obvious with our band, so we cannot think of someone else to work with.
Okay. Okay. You don't play. You introduce yourself to just before, but with your nickname, and you say you sing and you play guitars. But do you still play drums, or you have a new drummer, CG, or
Yeah.
you 50-50? How do you in studio and live? You don't play drums anymore. You?
No, basically on Hinsides Vrede, our our drummer that we have today, CG, he played drums on 2 of the songs on Hinsides Vrede, and I played the drums on the rest. But
majority.
now, yeah, and now on Fasornas Tid, CG played all the drums, so I was just concentrating on the guitar this time. So,
and your vocals.
Yeah, on the vocals, of course. Yeah.
And so on the clean vocals, for example, the second track, The Seer, it's God Gorgon who sings.
Yes, and Ion, our keyboard player, mainly, he is doing the lead vocals, and Goff Gorgon is doing the backings.
Backing vocals.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and on which song only God Gorgon sings, maybe?
The second, the last song called, it's a Swedish title also, the Svarta.
Okay. Yes, you excluded the introduction in the classic guitar, and you say the song, second song, Des Svarta at the end of the album.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. There are 12 tracks. I like when you put, and it's a trademark, I think, of MÖRK GRYNING, and in this black death metal, melodic death metal Swedish touch, we used to say to put a sticker. I like it. I think it's a trademark, these different vocals and also the keyboards, and classic guitars parts.
Yep.
What does this influence, come from? I remember in the previous album there are also very nice classic parts, an interlude, a subsolato introduction. I don't remember the name of the song, and there is twice classic of memory, classic guitar parts. So it's you who plays that, and what does this come? This inspiration? Sometimes it could be like classic Spanish.
Our second other guitar player, SL, he's really a classical guitar player from the very beginning. So he plays classical guitar on concerts, and he's teaching. He's also teacher on classical guitars. So he has very, very high skills on that. So yeah. So it comes much from there. But then, of course, we are a lot inspired by classical things as well. We've been that from the very first beginning. Exactly. I mean, if you listen to the first Dissection album, The Somber Lane, and that was basically the album that created MÖRK GRYNING in the first place. And they had on that Somber Lane album, they have these classical guitar parts, like 3 songs on the album that are only with classical guitars. So we are highly inspired by that album.
Yeah, maybe that influence could come from battery, more folk in a period, Blood and Ice and Hammer Heart. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Swedish, Corton.
Yeah.
You never met Corton before he died? No, in Sweden?
No, I didn't. But Goff Gorgon, he had a fan sign back in the days, and he had the opportunity to interview the boss.
Yes.
One time. That's the closest.
Okay.
Closest.
If my memory is good, Corton died in the subway or in the bus attack.
Something like that.
Heart attack sadly, and he died.
Yes.
But we have all his records to listen at different periods. Okay. What do you? We are going to speak. Excuse me, about the two singles, Tornet and the title track of the album. Firstly, Tornet, it's a lyrical video. Could you tell me more about this song? Tornet, it means tower, maybe something like that.
Yes, the tower.
The tower.
Yeah, and that's a song written by me and CG, our drummer. So that is basically he came up with some starting ideas with some of the riffs on the songs, mainly the chorus and the mid part, which is more death metal. So that was a little bit. It was one of the first songs actually that we wrote to the album, and it got a spin-off, and then I finalized it with the arrangements, and it was quite we had that song. It was so obvious, so it got quite fastly done, and the arrangement was, yeah, that was pretty much spot on. So
Okay.
yeah, and that there was a, yeah,
Yeah.
a good example of how the MÖRK GRYNING is today. That we are not only a two-man band now; we are five persons in the band
Yeah.
now contributing. So
Uh,
yeah,
okay. But sometimes it's more complicated to listen to everybody in the band and you can suggest, but sometimes in twice just two persons, could be more
yeah.
simple to work. But it
That is
depends.
true. That was a little bit what we were afraid of in the first place. But maybe if we get too much input and we're not moving forward,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's been working. I mean, you need to meet halfway sometimes.
Okay.
Not everybody gets to have their opinions if unless someone disagrees. Then you need to meet halfway sometimes, and that is the only way to move forward. You need
Yeah.
to put your ego sometimes on the
Yeah.
side,
And
otherwise you don't move forward.
yeah, and for the band to overcome and to yes, yes. And
Exactly.
can you tell me more about the title track of the album, Fasornas Tid? Maybe it's you this time who write the riffs or
Yes,
the guitar electric.
I wrote the song, and that was pretty much of a song that was is quite a lot inspired by ourselves
Okay.
because uh, it, I think it was time to do something that was really our DNA.
Yeah.
So I went back actually to the first album. I hadn't listened to it for many, many years. And
Yeah.
I put it on because I have a vinyl version on
Yeah.
it.
I
And so I had to put the vinyl on and test it and I listened
um,
to it. And that song is an inspiration actually from the first album. And you can hear that
yeah.
it could have been a song on
The
that album as
atmosphere.
well.
Yeah. The atmosphere. Yeah.
The melodic, catchy choruses and the yeah, so it's pretty much inspired from ourselves. So it was quite also quite easy to do because when you just got back to your very first beginning, the first DNA, what the band was all about in the first place,
Yeah.
it wasn't that hard to do really. It connected quite fast. All the riffs were there all of a sudden.
Yeah, yeah, okay, but it's still fresh, and the songs are very. It's old school, but it's still fresh, and the
Yeah.
songs are very 3 minutes, 4 minutes in general. You don't
Mhm.
want to put more digression or progressive because in the past
No,
sometimes it was more longer maybe.
no, yeah, that's true, and that was back in the days when we were like young and restless, and we just wanted to do something new stuff all the
Yeah,
time. We had the period when we released the White Album, our White Album, Pieces of Primal Expressionism,
yeah,
which
yeah,
was a lot of this kind of progressive stuff and the longer songs. But we just wanted to be spot on this time,
yeah,
not
yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
just to go straight forward.
Not like opus.
No, no, exactly.
But and live, it's better, it's more comfortable maybe to perform 10 minutes, 10 songs for 4 minutes is
Mm,
maybe it's more comfortable technically for you.
yeah.
Uh,
But it got this way. We didn't really think of that. Okay,
yeah,
we just need to do short songs. We just do what what we come up to, and this was what happened. And
okay.
it it, it was short songs.
With the times becoming older, sometimes we can be more lazy.
Yeah, that too, of course.
Okay. About the DNA, it's exactly the question I have wrote my paper. Yes, I think we can smell the DNA of more grinding in this new album. Like I said, new sound, a sound of now, but with the old school vibe, backing vocals, nice backing vocals, clean vocals, grow screams, raw parts and guitars, but it's still at the same time it's melodic and aggressive in the riffs and classic guitar parts. Like I said, some keyboards. Yeah, that's the DNA to sum up more grinding.
Yeah, for sure. It's the whole cycle has been closed now. We're basically
Yeah.
we are found our way of the sound basically on this album for sure.
Yeah. Are there any guests on the album? I have written a person called Sea of Azlut on Turnet,
Yes,
an ancient ancestor of the autumn moon. Who is this person? Could you explain?
that's
Uh,
the
I don't know.
singer of the black metal band called Avslut, which is a Swedish black metal band, which, in
Okay.
my opinion, is really one of the best black metal bands out there for now. So
Okay.
this is something that you really should check out if you haven't done
Yeah.
it. And C is the singer, and I think he is one of the absolute greatest black metal singers also. So his contribution on these songs in this album, it just gives another dimension on it, and
Yeah.
he's incredible.
Okay. It's very interesting. They come from Stockholm like you. And if I'm right, they are signed on a small production, a French label.
Yes, yes, they are, and
Yeah.
I mean they the thing is that they have said that they have influenced a lot from MÖRK GRYNING, and sometimes you can, of course, hear it, but
Okay.
they have done it in their own way for sure.
Okay.
And yeah, it's really good musicians and
Okay.
really good albums. All of the albums they have done is very, very good. So you have to check them out.
And the guest is called the C.
Yeah.
What does he do? He sings or he play guitar or drums?
Yeah, he's the singer in
Okay.
that band,
On these two.
but I understand that he's also creating most of the songs, also writing the
Okay.
songs in the album.
And on your two songs of Mark Riding, what does he do? He sings.
Uh, yeah, he sings on Tornet. He's
Uh,
doing some backing vocals, but then on an ancestor, he's doing some lead vocals also in the beginning of the song.
Okay, that's why it's very dynamic. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, very interesting. Yeah, it's an Osmond production like Swordmaster,
yeah, yeah,
an all black, all but ex no Death Stars, and yeah, we speak about Dissection. His brother of John
yeah.
Dodist. He played Nightmare. He played in Swordmaster.
Osmose has released a lot of
Yeah,
good things during
yeah.
the years.
Yeah, yeah, they should also Sorcier des Glaces from Canada. I don't know
Yeah,
if if you know, we are going to make also a review and maybe an interview. What do you want to? It's very interesting because you make my transition. I wanted to ask you before to conclude, before to speak about, if you want, just about your side projects and the plans of more grinding. I wanted to ask you, what do you think about the Scandinavian extreme metal scene nowadays? Because according to me, there are not a lot of numerous new bands who come with new ideas. They only, if there are new bands, they only pay tribute to the legends like you, to Marduk, to Immortal, to Dissection,
mm.
Entombed, but in death, black metal, etc., or doom. But they don't innovate. It's my opinion, and we
Mm.
don't see we can't see a lot of new Scandinavian and especially Swedish bands. But in France, yes. In America, yes. Poland, etc. The rest of the world. But nowadays, what are the news? What do you think? It's interesting because you just speak about Absolute before.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm this conservative kind of a metal guy that always listens to the same old bands
I,
that I did when I
yeah,
started to listen in the early 90s. You know, if I had to put the record on, death metal record on, I put on Left Hand
yeah,
Path with Entombed. So,
yeah, like me.
for example, but so I'm not that very involved in the newer scene, so to say,
Okay.
but as you say, maybe everything has been done, and it's quite hard to invent something new. I don't know. So that's why they pay tributes more or less to the older ones. Well, I don't really know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
But because you live in Sweden, donc maybe you are more in touch with the underground scene.
Mm.
Voilà. In France, we have a lot of new bands. I think they try to innovate, Dispel Omega or Set, but it's old school stuff, Set. But new bands, very interesting. Rin, RUYYN, etc. But there are new bands, more progressive, more, but I'm not objective because I live in France. But I think there are a lot of new bands. But yes, they bring something new. Maybe in Scandinavia, after it's cycles, it's only cycles, I think.
Probably yes. Yeah,
But
but
okay. Could you just tell me more about your sad projects? I remember Descending, the first album. I interviewed the singer and the drummer ex Mars in 2006 or something like that. I remember very well the first interview of Descending, the first album.
okay.
What the new? You release the new album and you play guitars in Descending and also Canaros Quintet.
No, I
No.
actually nowadays I play the drums in this ending, which I've
Okay.
done on
Yeah.
the latest album and the album before as well.
Yeah, Fredrik
Because
Andersson left the band.
yeah, I
He
started in the
stopped.
band 2016 as a guitar player,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then Fredrik Andersson was still in the band, but then he left
Yeah.
from this ending, and the drum position was vacant. So I
Okay.
told the guys I want to take the
Yeah.
challenge to try
Okay.
out on the drums because back in
Okay.
the days, with MÖRK GRYNING and the early period, I played a lot of drums. So I wanted to test that. So
Okay.
it went quite good. So yeah, so now I'm the drummer in this ending, actually.
Okay. And so the last album is called Crown in Blood, and it was released in Apostasy Records.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay. And a Canarus Quintet. What are the news? A new album? I don't know.
No, a Kenner's Quintet is basically what the Descending was before the band change. So what
Yeah.
we did with the Kenner's Quintet was basically to play some kind of reunion shows
Okay.
for like 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Okay.
In that way, you could say that it's active, but it's not active in that way that it will be any new material
Yeah.
released.
Okay.
It's just a cover band, how to say, on request.
Uh,
Kenner's Quintet can do some shows, but there will not be any new
okay.
albums.
Okay.
It's Descending. Descending is the band that actually doing
Yeah.
the new material and releasing new albums.
And what does Fredrik Andersson do now? He left totally metal scene or
No,
in
no, no.
2020?
He's
No?
yeah, no, no, no. He's still in the scene, and he
Okay.
went to work with Kvan,
Okay.
Kvaen,
Okay.
the
Okay.
Swedish band.
Death metal.
So they are actually being quite a lot bigger. They were on a European tour recently, so it got a lot of time, and he
Okay.
chose to do that instead. So it was fine.
Okay. It's more death metal, thrash metal. No, no.
Yeah, it's quite a, if you look at some innovative band, I would say that this band is quite innovative. They have blended a lot of stuff into their music, which is quite hard to explain. But
Okay.
it's
Okay.
good
This.
stuff actually.
Okay. And about MÖRK Grinding to conclude, is there a new video to be shot for a video clip? Maybe which song and what are the plans? Festivals, European tour, French shows
Uh, First of
next
all,
year?
for the album will be released in 13th of December,
Mhm.
but before that we will release a third single during November.
Which
So
song? No?
it will be, I don't know if I should. Okay,
Okay.
I can tell you. It will be Black Angel, the
Okay.
song called Black Angel.
Okay.
And then the album will be released, and then during next year we have some festivals booked in Germany and Spain.
Okay.
But and then we're actually a little bit looking into a European tour at the end of next year, and hopefully we can include France in that tour. We'll
Okay.
see.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I think it's possible, and I cross the fingers because I saw Sacramentum this last summer. in French festival, Motoculture Festival, Sacramentum guys. So Unanimated maybe soon, you soon. Donc I can sleep, go to sleep.
That would be
quietly.
something.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for the interview.
And good luck with this new album. I don't have a lot of backwards, like I said at the beginning, but I think it's a very good album. Just for the moment. I need
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Draakh Kimera, and take care in Sweden, Tack, and see you live in France, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.